from WB Fraternity. In this video, I will show how the Elementor's new feature work, which has been released recently a few days ago. So without any further ado, let's start. The main and the most important feature that has Elementor released, that is floating bar. This feature allows us to create fixed bars that will stay visible as we scroll through page. Let's see what this floating bar is. So as you can see in here I am using Hello Elementor theme, and I have already activated the Elementor free version, which is the latest version as well. So where we will get this floating bar? So if we go to the settings, let me go to the settings feature. If we scroll down, we will get this editor top bar, which is the floating bar. So by default it will be settings as a default and active is the same thing. So let's save the changes. Let me close these pages. So let's create a new page. And name this editor top bar floating bar active or default. So let's try this edit with Elementor. So this is the new interface, this is the new change that has Elementor has introduced, which is a very good thing. So before going to the new changes, let's see the old changes, and we will try to differentiate the old and new changes so that we can get the visual impact how this new feature helping us. So if we enable inactive and save changes, and let's create another page. Floating bar inactive, edit with Elementor, and we will get the old interface or old appearance of the editor. So now we will make this default, so that if we reload this page, this stays as it is. So what are the changes? Let's start from the adding widget. On the new released, on the where the floating bar is available, adding widget will be found in here. For example, add element. But on the old editor, we will get this in here. This is the one thing. And let's see the other changes. For example, side settings. In the side settings can be found if we click this hamburger menu, and this will be the side settings, which is 2 clicks away. But on the new version where the floating bar is available, we will click this one and we'll get the side settings in here, which is 1 click away, which is a very good thing. And all the necessary things, all the necessary elements we can found in this bar. So adding widget, side settings, and let's see the preview changes, save buttons, and save as draft. On the old version, if let's cross this one, on the old version we'll get this preview changes, save, and save as drafts on the below. But on the latest version we'll get this in here, preview changes, publish, save changes, save options, all in here. And let's see the navigation. On the old version, the navigation, for example, this is the navigator where all this navigation will work. For example, if you click, this navigation will work. But on the latest version, the navigation become structure. Let me cut this one, and the navigation become the structure, and we will get this structure in here. After that, let's see the theme builder and user preference. On the old version, the theme builder and user preference can be found in here, which is 2 clicks away. Always the less clicks is help us to get more productive. And this theme builder user preference in here. On the latest version, we'll get this in here, theme builder user preference all in here. And as you can see, there is a very good and minimal graphics for the Elementor logo, which looks very stunning. And after that, as we can see, we will get the notes. In notes is the pro feature, so we will not get this one in here. So after that, responsive, and I love this feature, to be very honest, because responsive mode on the old version can be disable and enable, but responsive is one of the most important thing while creating a website. And they have been fixed on the later version of the Elementor, which is on the top bar, responsive will always be visible on the top bar, which is a very good thing to see. By default, we have this available responsive mode, but we can add more responsive mode as well, which I will show later. After that, let's see the page settings. On the old version, we'll get this page settings in here. This is the page settings. On the later version, we'll get this page settings in here, which is very intuitive and very helpful. After that, we'll get this filter, the recent pages. From here we can create new pages, we can go to these pages as well. And this one is one of the most important feature as well, which is mentioned, can be mentioned in here as well. So these are the main changes, or these are the main interface changes, and we will see other changes as well. For example, on the top bar we will get this finder. From here we can go to the settings, general settings, integration advanced. We can go to the pages, we can go to any pages or all pages. And in here, for example, if we go to this save templates and more, so this is one of the most important feature as well. And after that, let's cut this structure, page settings, and widget, add widget. And adding widget is always adding widget to favorite is now more easily than the previous version. For example, if we go to the widget and we click the right click, and we can, as I have already added this one to favorite, so it's calling the remove from this favorite. But if we go to the text editor, and if we want to, let's click on the add to favorite, let's click on the right click and add to favorite, this will be added to the favorite. So this is how easy it is. So sorry for my bias. So these are the changes. I love these responsive changes and finder as well. For example, if we go to the settings, we don't need to exit the page and so on, although we can exit to WordPress as well. For example, exit to WordPress, leave these settings, so we can exit to the WordPress and edit to Elementor. Let's use this finder, settings, general settings. We are in here, these general settings. So now let's see the customization thing. For example, adding the more responsive mode or the breakpoints. For example, this one, by default these are the available breakpoints, but we can add more additional breakpoints as well. For example, to add the additional breakpoints, we have to go to the settings, general settings, feature, we will hover this additional breakpoints, default, active, save the changes, and let's go to this page. The page that we have created, edit with Elementor, go to the site settings, layout, and in here we can see these breakpoints, and in here we can add additional breakpoints. For example, tablet landscape, we can add widescreen and save the changes and reload now. Now we will see the additional breakpoints or additional responsive mode. So this is the basic overview of this latest version of the Elementor, which is introduced the editor top bar. I hope you have learned something new.